Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm at Productronica 2013, and I'm joined by John Carr, who is the Vice President of Supply Chain Solutions for Flextronics. John, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for chatting to me. I wanted to talk about supply chain because we're hearing more and more about it, and lots of discussion about different supply chain strategies. Is it just me, or has supply chain suddenly become sexy?
Interesting. Yeah, I know there is a tendency to look on supply chain as the physical movement of goods. Areas like transportation, logistics, warehousing, they're very important, absolutely critical skills to have, but supply chains have become more complex. The world in which we operate today is more complex, and as a result we need a lot more skills, cross-functional skills. Finance, for instance, is becoming very, very important, as has IT skills and production engineering skills. So people also, I believe, have to be more cross-trained. Within Flextronics we have a system called Flex University, and we're seeing a very big uptake from employees in, taking online courses in areas other than their own area of specialization, and that's very healthy because, for the future we need people that have a broad knowledge base, and certainly in supply chain you need a broad knowledge base. You need to be close to the customer, you need to have a very good understanding of your core processes, and you need to be analytical. You do. So I would say it's down to the complexity, and as the world gets more complex we have to get more knowledgeable, more skillful.
And are there things that are causing that to happen specifically now? I mean, we've seen things that have really pointed out risk mitigation to us recently, the Thai floods, Fukushima, and we're wondering whether what's going on in the Philippines will have any impact on supply chains as well. And then there are other dynamics at play in terms of right shoring and some correction going on there. Are those all factors that are making supply chain a real key issue right now?
Absolutely. There's a lot more risk in the supply chain today than we would have maybe seen in the past. Just take creating value as an example. I mean, it's become more challenging, more difficult, I would say, to create value. It's no longer a case where it's sufficient to move production to a lower labor cost location. Not at all. I mean, we need to provide an awful lot more than that. In fact, a lot of our customers are coming to us because of the global network that we have. They're required to provide products to market a lot more speedily. So having a regional manufacturing footprint is very important for them. So, but that brings challenges. Equally, you mentioned, natural disasters. I mean, for some reason, there has been an increase in the incidence of supply chain disruption, and so we need to provide the visibility to what's happening worldwide. Everybody's supply chain is global these days, so we have suppliers all over the world, so we have to provide the visibility to what's happening, also the transparency as well. So our customers need to know if there are any risks and any potential problems there. So, but no, things have got more complex. The world is more complex.
It is a more complex place, and all those dynamics come together, and I think that now there seems to be a desire to design the right supply chain for a customer, not just force fit the customer's requirement into perhaps a simple supply chain offering which might have just been China or might have just been one or two regions. So brings together a lot of stuff. How do you bring all that together collectively in a strategy within your organization?
Yeah, good point. I mean, within Flextronics, we have been working on developing what we call a platform strategy. For all intents and purposes, if you can just think of a Rubik's Cube. I mean, for me, innovation is all about invention times scale. So having the scale means that our customers don't have to worry about getting their product out there to global marketplaces. They can focus on their product, on their inventions. So the first, I would say, axis of the cube is scale and having that global footprint. The second is what we call scope. We obviously have built a lot of capabilities, from product innovation to manufacturing, distribution, aftermarket services, and a whole host of other supporting capabilities. So we call that scope. By investing in those areas, again, allows us to leverage our capabilities, allows us to make better use of our skills to the benefit of our customers. And the last axis is speed. It's critical. I've already mentioned the fact that we need more transparency. We need visibility into what's happening in the supply chain, but we need it now. We need it instantly. There's no point in looking in the rear mirror at what's happened, yesterday or even earlier today. You need real-time information, so you can act on that. Actually, you can then project forward.
Yeah, you need what-if information.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's three components. We call it platform strategy. We put a lot of time and effort, and we continue to invest in it. And we're very excited about it.
Yeah, and by bringing all those to a customer, hopefully you can make a real difference to their business. And I think when I see that working really well, it's quite often in some of these rapidly changing new industries like the medical sector, for example, where they really want a manufacturing partner that's going to deal with everything, take care of the supply chain logistics. They want to shrink their cycle to market, their market windows are getting shorter. They've got to be thinking about the next product, not manufacturing this one. I guess that's where you can really leverage the platform and all the different parts of it.
Absolutely, and as a company we work across multiple sectors, and there's a lot of learning, let's call it tribal knowledge, can be gained from looking at fast-moving consumer goods space, for instance, and the needs of that market and leveraging that. I mean, it's all about helping our customers transform their businesses. So if you're in the medical device sector, which you mentioned, again, a lot of competitive pressures, not unlike other sectors. So again, because we have access and because we work in these different sectors, we pull the best information, the best knowledge, best experience we have. And again, we leverage our assets working with our customers. I mean, we take our combined assets. The whole idea is that we actually make the best use of the combined assets. And again, that delivers lower cost, I would say, to our customers.
And better value. And by delivering that, you're delivering what I would consider to be, and we talked about this earlier today, a smart supply chain. If you're doing a smart supply chain where you really focus on delivering what the customer needs to their customer, which sometimes you're fulfilling to directly, does that have an impact on the geography of the supply chain and the geography that's developing within your organization?
As I mentioned earlier, there's a big move towards regional manufacturing, regional support. I mean, we have to be in region to support customers in region. So our customers and their end customers are equally important. So if you buy a device, you need service, you need aftermarket support, and customers are coming to us to provide that in region. So, our workforce are distributed around the world, in over 30 countries, and in all areas of our business.
And a growing number of sites.
A growing number of sites, over 120 today, an increasing number of sites. It's no longer the case where you would have large manufacturing sites.
Campuses,
We also have those large campuses because they serve a really important purpose. But it's important also to have that global footprint. It's also, there's other areas that are very important. I mean, corporate social and economic responsibility is very important. It's core value, Flextronics. I mean, we have what we call the Flex Pledge system, and there's 4 pillars to that. Focus on the employee and the training and support of the employee, focus on the environment, and having people in region around the world allows us to, we're aware of the local regulations governing the environment, so we can assist our customers. The third pillar would be ethics and governance. Again, being in region and working closely with suppliers allows us to provide support there. And the last one is local community involvement. It's great to be involved in the local communities, supporting people where they live.
And when you're employing the numbers of people you employ, you absolutely should be doing that. It's an absolute responsibility.
It's all about people. At the end of the day, it's all about people.
And earlier you talked about innovation as part of that strategy. We've seen a couple of recent things in the press about launches you've had of product innovation centers. Getting that product innovation right within a big organization so they can get it to market is a challenge in lots of different ways. Is that something that you see as a key differentiator?
We would have invested in the region of $40 million this year alone in those product innovation centers. We're investing in areas such as additive manufacturing or 3D printing, material science, in areas where our customers, may not be in a position to make those investments. So we're investing ahead of the curve. Those are very important locations for us. We have over 9 product innovation centers worldwide. Again, the whole focus is on time to market. The example you gave there is a good one, because here's a company who required us to bring up a volume manufacturing facility, delivering 100,000 units out of the chute, day one, perfect quality. We had 4 months to bring up that facility, 4 months to recruit the employees, train them, 4 months to bring up the site, but also 4 months to connect the actual carriers into the network, into our network. Because day one we were receiving orders for product from our customers, the carriers. Highly customized process, over 1,000 SKUs. So again, this is another, I suppose, important factor about what we offer, is the ability to mass customize.
Yeah, I think that's a really important play in the current market.
Mass customization is key, and no longer good enough to offer, a vanilla product. I mean, people require, special features, special product specifications. So mass customization.
They want it quickly, which drives proximity to the customer as well.
Yeah, we have to deliver within 4 working days from receipt of order to the customer's location.
And I don't think it'll be long before you get pressure to push that down, because I look at my kids as consumers. They're not like us. They don't mail order, wait for it to come. They want it now, and they want it the way they want to design it almost themselves. So.
Ordered online, want to deliver next day. Next day.
Yeah, exciting.
They don't,
stuff.
And you know what? That's exciting, because I think there's going to be a lot more pressure on supply chain going forward. People expect product to be delivered instantaneously, but as we know, inventory is something that needs to be very, very carefully managed. Products have short life cycles, so inventory is not a good thing. You don't want to be piling inventory. So the whole secret here is managing your components, the supply, making sure you got good visibility, and making sure that you deliver to your commitment.
So last question, product innovation. Apart from that speed and velocity to market, being able to ramp up very quickly for a global market, fulfill directly. To do that, I've got to trust Flextronics with my intellectual property.
Yes.
Within those product innovation centers, how do you tackle that IP? Because a lot of stuff that's coming to you will be back of the napkin, very proprietary, very new ideas.
Yeah. So we actually have a focus team that focuses exclusively on data protection. We have a system that manages data loss protection. We also put a lot of focus on training of our employees in both ethics and also just observing everything that goes on. So it's all about training. It's all about having the right system in place to manage data on behalf of our customers, because it's critical. It's absolutely critical, and having a focus team whose job it is to manage
and protect that,
that system. So it's a very very important area of our business, because we're handling customer data. And
new products that aren't going to be in the market for some time.
Absolutely, and it's a key part of our business proposition.
John, excellent. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you.
I do think supply chain is sexy. Maybe it makes us geeks. I don't know, but
I think I agree with you.
Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
Thank you.